Julia Thompson, ZIZ News. Prime Minister, you've already touched on the issue of crime during this press conference, but at this point, is it possible you can give us a bit more of an outline on the strategies and the policies that you feel are needed to counteract crime and violence? It's one of the main areas that we're going to be judged on here. There's no doubt we are attracting tourists to our beautiful Twin Islands, but they need to feel safe, and we have to maintain that they come back. So please, at this point, can you be able to ensure us with your policies that we are going to feel safe in the next government here in St. Kitts and Nevis?
I believe that it is quite obvious that one of the important issues that surfaced in the elections gone was the issue of crime. I think that the opposition used the opportunity of a general election to sensationalize crime, to politicize it, and to individualize it. Because I understand that there were billboards around the country that purported to be addressing me, the Prime Minister, with regard to being responsible for crime in St. Kitts and Nevis. I didn't know that I was that good. But let me say that the fact that the People's Action Movement that tried desperately to politicize crime failed and was rejected is a clear indication that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis clearly understand and would wish to support the policies and the programs that have been enunciated, that are being implemented and pursued by the Labour government of the former administration and of now. Because we continue to say that the main threat to the economic stability of this country and the social stability and continued development of St. Kitts and Nevis is especially violent crime, gun-related crime. The government did put a strategic plan in place to counter that. It continues to yield results. It is very, very unfortunate that so far we might have had 4 or 5 people involved in homicides for this year. We may have recovered 4 or 5 or 5 or 6 illegal weapons to date from the roads. But this gives you an idea of how dynamic the situation is in our fight against crime. It is yielding results, but crime continues. And that is why we again emphasize that fighting crime is everybody's business. And the government's intention and policies and programs are to involve every individual, every section of our society, every group, community or otherwise, who is willing to make a contribution in our fight against crime to join and let us do exactly that. I think to a large extent our continued retooling of our police with equipment, with vehicles, our refurbishment of the places where the police work. In fact, that is going to be a central area of great concern, which will be announced in our throne speech at the opening of Parliament on the 10th of March of this year. We want to make it very clear that we shall move expeditiously to improve the physical infrastructure where the men who serve the country, who protect our citizens, where they live, where they work. We want to make sure that these are improved dramatically. We did have a particular plan in place. The plan is, in my opinion, working too slowly. So far, we've only been able to implement effectively that plan for 1 or 2 situations in Nevis, and so far 2 situations in St. Kitts. The police station is completed. We have improved the police headquarters that is downstairs. The barracks in Basseterre still need to be dramatically improved. The government is now going to take a much more aggressive stance in getting whatever resources are absolutely necessary and get off that particular program as quickly as possible as part of our support for the police and security forces generally in fighting crime. Not only those who are policemen in terms of the police stations, but those men and women who are soldiers at the barracks and those who are also down at the Coast Guard. They are also living in bad conditions, and they will now have to be done almost immediately, taking a different turn despite our financial constraints that we have. A new strategy will have to be employed in this regard.